let's get to know each other just a little bit. I'm out here making perfume content, talking about the fragrances I love, but today I'm talking about myself. I'm not for myself or whatever. It's a perfume tag, my girl Roxanne's Retreat. Put this all together and it's giving me the opportunity to share with y'all, and I'm excited to do exactly that. So if that sounds like your kind of thing, if you want to get to know me better, like I want to get to know you better in the comment section, then stick around and let's get into it.
Keep you close to me. Baby, can you give me just a little bit?
Hi, I'm Jeanique and I love fragrances. I'm a little bit obsessed, and ever since I started collecting and then coming to YouTube to talk all about those fragrances, it has been a grand old time. And today we're getting into some of the questions my girl Roxanne's Retreat put together so we can get to know each other just a little bit better. Everything from where I'm from, some of my favorite fragrances and micro influencers, all of the things are going to get addressed in this video today. Now, if you're a little perfume obsessed yourself, or you're just mildly interested, or you think I'm a vibe, either one, thanks for being here and I hope you subscribe. If you've already subscribed, I see you, thank you, I appreciate you. You are a real one and you make great life decisions. Now we're gonna get into these questions that my girl Roxanne's Retreat put together because I'm excited to talk about me and other things. Let's get into it.
You and me, baby, can you give me just a little bit more of what
So the first question, sort of, kind of, was what was your favorite color and dress up in that color? And I had to think about it real hard because I think I wear more red than anything else, but my favorite actual color is green. So here we are in a cute little green top that I feel really like dainty and cute in. So I wanted to give that kind of energy. I'm also like decked out in all the things that make me feel fly. All of the rings. Wait, all of the rings. Yeah, the nails are done. The baby hairs are laid. The lipstick, rose/mauve colored. It's my go-to. It's something I don't have to think about, but I do love a green look. I love green things. I love plants as well. I garden a fair bit, and so all of the sort of vegetation and sort of vibe that creates in a home, I love all of that, and so I love wearing green as well. But I think in real life I probably wear more red, more black than I do anything else. But if I had to pick, if I had to pick, it's going to be a green, it's going to be a green outfit every time. A secondary color though, plums, purples, mauves, rose color. I love those sort of cool tone, rosy kind of tones. In the same vein kind of the lipstick I'm wearing, I really enjoy that as well. I don't own a lot of clothes in that sort of color family, but I love it. I have one dress, I think, no, two, and I love them. I don't wear them often enough, but I love them, and I feel very good when I wear it. I feel kind of regal, you know what I mean? Like that's the vibe a jewel tone purpley color gives. So yeah, that is my favorite color. What I'm wearing today is inspired by all of those kinds of loves, from my makeup down to the outfit. I'm wearing jeans with this, you know, vibes. So yeah, that's what I'll say about that. Question is, where are you from? If you can't tell from the accent, I am from Jamaica. I'm originally from Ocho Rios, big up to Exchange, right? I went to school in Kingston and then moved to the US for a few years to do undergrad. Now I live in Canada. I've been all over the place, but die-hard Jamaican through and through. The country grew me, gave me life, and I love it. But I've lived in a lot of places at this point, and right now I'm in Canada, I'm in Alberta, suffering through the winters and really dreading what's about to come. Will I stay here forever? Probably not. I'll probably end up somewhere else at some point, but for right now I'm enjoying the adventure. So the next question is, name a fragrance your partner/spoogie loves. And I have two answers, and these sort of represent the two types that, you know, hit the best in my case. Number one, the only one in tens, always hits. That sort of sweet, sort of supple, round, voluptuous, white floral, kind of thick, a little bit heavy, very romantic. The Only One in Tens always does right by me. I'm just like, I smell so good, and he thinks so as well. And so that is maybe the favorite of all of them, but a close second is Libre Intense. I think it's the vanilla meets a little bit of that aromatic energy. It is sweet. It's a little bit heavy. It's darker. It's perfect for nighttime. It also feels like a very romantic fragrance, just leaning into that more vanillic side. I think these two are very like classic date night fragrances because the men go wild for it. And as it turns out, it also hits here. So those are the two that I would say. Now, would we branch out into other things, candies, fragrances, rose, all of the other things? Maybe, possibly. But for right now, today, it's The Only One Intense from Dolce & Gabbana, as well as Libre Intense from Yves Saint Laurent. So those are the two. So next question is, what is your favorite designer house? Now, I own a fair bit of designer fragrances. I love me a designer fragrance. And as much as there is a lot of propaganda, lies, and slander against designer fragrances for being basic, I fucking love them. I really do. I get into them hard. And so I have a lot of designer fragrances, some brands that I veer toward more than others. Now, number one, let's talk about Givenchy. It gives a little bit mature, but it gives real sexy with it. Like, she smokes and she knows what she wants. That is a vibe of Givenchy. I do enjoy it. Dolce & Gabbana is always giving what needs to be gave. Really romantic, sweet, sexy kind of vibes. I get into them hard. I enjoy Mugler a lot. A lot of fragrances from Mugler hit for me, and they always have. But I think the brand that I own the most designer fragrances from by a long mile, it's a long mile, it's a stretch, is probably Guerlain. I have a lot of fragrances from them, stuff from the Aqua Allegoria line that is super citrusy and all kinds of summery, to more serious fragrances that they're overcharging us for, like $400 a bottle. We don't need that shit, but we get them because the fragrances smell so good. I love an everyday fragrance, like something like Terracotta that I'd wear in winter, all the way down to something like Mon Guerlain that's a classic that I enjoy day to day just to go to work, right? I love a lot of Guerlain fragrances, and I, you know, very excited about them always. When they release something new, I hardcore want to check it out because very often I very much enjoy them. So yeah, my favorite designer house still to this day is Guerlain. But it doesn't mean there aren't a ton of other designer houses that I very much enjoy. Question is, what is your favorite niche house? Here's the thing, I don't own a shit ton of niche fragrances. I enjoy them, I sample them a fuck ton. It is a vibe over here. I am trying things, I'm doing sampling videos, I'm telling y'all what I think, but I don't own a lot of them. But there are some houses that speak to me and that I do own fragrances from. First up, I enjoy Kayali fragrances. I do. The longevity on a lot of them aren't hitting the way that I would like them to hit, but I do love the smell and approachability of a lot of those fragrances. I would say I also very much enjoy Maison Crivelli. I have a few fragrances from that house. One of my favorite fragrances of all time, Lee Solerberg, comes from that house, giving me flirty, floral meets smoky kind of energy. It's a meeting of opposites, and I am all here for it. Their fragrances are very interesting. I would also say you have smaller niche houses that you can find in places like Sephora, things like Nest. I think it's a niche brand that I have always been impressed with the fragrances I've tried from them. Right now, I'm enjoying Down Lychee Rose because, excuse me, why is it so good? Indigo, the one with indigo in the name, the tea adjacent fragrance is giving what needs to be gave. I really do enjoy that. I would say the house that I've tried the most fragrances from, arguably, is maybe Georgieve, and I do own maybe 3 or 4 fragrances from that house. So I think other than Kayali, niche fragrance wise, I probably own the most full bottles from Georgieve as a niche house. And you know what? No regrets. No, their fragrances make me want to fight them sometimes because they do some really wacky shit in those bottles occasionally, but then they come up with a fragrance, something like Dolce Amalfi or Lyra, and it just speaks to my soul. And I'm like, y'all get me. Y'all get me. I hear often from people in the fragrance community how it's not as challenging as some other houses. It's not as refined as some other houses. I don't give a fuck. It smells real good and I love it. I love them. I really do. And it never feels like a waste of money when I pick something up, because I feel like I'm getting something a little bit different, but something that I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoy. So yeah, I would say favorite niche house, theoretically, at least today it is maybe Georgiov. As basic as that fucking makes me. I don't care. I still love them. So for the next question, Roxanne threw out a very disrespectful question. Why is she trying to call me out? I do not appreciate it. I do not. What is the value of my wish list? I don't want to seem unreasonable. I don't want to seem greedy, but it is heavy. It is deep. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of fragrances, some of which cost per bottle a ridiculous amount of money. Are there random fragrances from House of Siage on there? Yes. And those start at like $400 or $500. So I don't even want to let you know what that number is, but it might be over $10,000. Am I going to actually spend it? No. I'm a reasonable person. It's never going to happen, but a girl can dream. It's way more than 10. I do not apologize. I do a little bit because greedy. Let's move on. Have you subscribed yet? I know you want to do it. I'm just here to remind you of the thing you already want to do. So go ahead and do it. Nobody is stopping you. I'm not begging or anything. I'm just asking very nicely. Yeah. The next question is, what brand would you like to get PR from? Because here's the thing, I'm a small ass YouTuber, so obviously I'm not getting PR. Plus I have a mouth on me, so that gets in my way. And also I talk shit about a lot of fragrances and a lot of brands. So there's also that. So yeah, I don't expect to get PR anytime soon, but if a girl could dream, House of Siage. That's the one. That's the one right there. Those cupcake looking ass bottles, they're so adorable. They're so adorable. And it feels real classy to me. Like, I would feel like, I don't know, I've reached to that like level of perfume YouTuber where they're like, she's a classy woman and we want her to represent us, this classy ass brand. Will it ever happen? Probably not. Probably not. But y'all asked, so there we go. Next question is, who are your favorite micro-influencers? These are people in the YouTube space who are creating content about fragrances who have less than 2,000 subscribers. Now, why would I pick one when I can pick more than that? So we're going to talk about 5 of the micro-influencers that I follow, that I enjoy their videos. I'm going to go through all of them and I'll definitely link everybody down in the description. So let's start off with my girl being Arlene Gloriously. She has a wonderful collection. She talks about those fragrances with a lot of enthusiasm. It's really hard not to get into it. She's such a sweet person. It's hard not to love watching her videos. And so I thoroughly do. The next person I want to talk about is Rose Alaya. Just a lot of spunk, lots of just energy and spark. And it's really fun to watch her. I'm loving the pink that she is rocking right now. So it's just a pleasure to watch her, especially because we have, I say, similar collections or similar tastes in terms of having a wide selection of the types of fragrances we collect, and she definitely does that. The next person I want to talk about is Sunny Sins. Now, as soon as I came into the YouTube space, she's somebody who showed me a lot of love, and I love watching her videos because she does love a white floral as much as I do, maybe more. And so I get a lot of great recommendations from her because she just has a great collection, speaks really in depth and offering great descriptions for the fragrances she reviews on her channel. So I absolutely love watching her. The next person I want to talk about is Jay's Fragrance Space. Now, I'm not sure if she has posted in the last like 3 or 4 months. I'm not going to hold that against her because I find her videos super relaxing. She just sort of has a very chill vibe, and I really enjoy watching her talk about fragrances, especially because she has some more unusual picks that I've never heard of. So it's nice to get the lay of the land for fragrances I don't know anything about in a really relaxing and engaging way. So I love that. And finally, I gotta shout out my girl Roxanne's Retreat. Now, I think when she posted this question, she was under 2,000 at the time, but right now I think she is over that, but we're gonna still talk about her anyway because I think I watch her more than I watch most other reviewers because I love how she talks about fragrances. I love me a Caribbean girly who is going to bring that kind of energy and spunk to her videos, and I thoroughly enjoy listening to her talk about fragrances. And her love of fragrances is so vast, so wide, and she has so many different types of fragrances she's into that I get into it as well, just listening to her talk about them. And she's put me on to some really fantastic ones, so I wanted to shout her out. And that's Roxanne's Retreat, my girl, who put this whole fragrance tag together, and one of my favorite micro influencers. So the next question is, which influencer are you most influenced by? And once again, I'm not picking one because why would I? We're going to talk about the 3 that I love to watch the most. I'm going to start off with my girl Veronica Says, because she has put me on to many fragrances, and I blind bought on her recommendation before and I have not regretted it. So I'm going to start off with her. Watch all of her videos. I'm in her comment section. I'm leaving comments constantly because I love watching her. She just describes fragrances so well, and she has such a wide array of fragrances in her collection. She loves a white floral as much as I do, and so I can get a lot of great recommendations from her. Next, let's talk about Sharita, because she's just giving everything that needs to be gave. She's so beautiful and fun. Her videos are so well put together. There's like a wide range of stuff that she talks about on her channel that I love watching. I just love watching her videos so much. And finally, let's talk about Coco Peeves, because she's a whole vibe, and she really convinced me I needed to try Zara fragrances. And now that I have, I've never looked back. I love how descriptive and just she really paints a picture when it comes to fragrances, and so I thoroughly enjoy her videos as well. So those are the 3 that I would say I'm most influenced by, and I'm influenced by a lot of people, to be fair. Because I love talking about fragrances so much, when you ask me what are my favorite fragrances of this year so far, what am I getting into hard, and what do I have full bottles of, I want to talk about it. So here's the thing, nobody likes Juice from Commodity. It's getting like a terrible rating, 3.69, excuse me. I think it's the rhubarb. I love it. I love it. I knew I was gonna love it. I watched Veronica's video. She talked about it. She was like, ooh, the rhubarb's a little bit extra. And I was like, ooh, that sounds like me, because rose, sweet stuff, strawberry, raspberry plus rhubarb sounds exactly up my alley, because I do love a very tart fragrance, and it hit everything that it needed to. So Juice Commodity, the expressive version, I'm all here for. I very much enjoy, and it is doing right by me every single time. No, not only that, Lattafa came out with a fragrance called Eclair, right? It's supposed to be a dupe of Bianco Latte from Giardini di Toscana, and when I say to you, it is hitting everything that I needed to, and I cannot wait for the winter time and the cold months to wear it all the way down. I am loving that fragrance so hard. And I also saw there's a new Yara candy. Now Lattafa keeps getting me with these Yara fragrances, because most of the time they don't hit for me. They're boring. I don't love them. I love Lattafa, obviously. I have a lot of Lattafa fragrances, a lot of videos that are Lattafa focused. I will link them, right? Love them. But the Yara fragrances are hit or miss for me. But there's one called Yara Candy, which I feel like needs to come into my life, because obviously. So yeah, what fragrances there's a lot of fragrances that I'm loving right now. I think Lychee Rose from Nest came out this year. Love that one. There's this new Tonka fragrance from Juliet Has a Gun. Vibes. So good. The new Good Girl Blush Elixir. Also good. Basically, a lot of new releases this year I'm thoroughly enjoying, but I will say, because of the slander Juice Expressive from Commodity is facing because of that damn rhubarb, I need to put it out there that I love it, and I have a full bottle, and I have no regrets. Let's get into the next question. What change would you like to see in the fragrance community? Now, this feels like a way more serious question, and I don't know, who am I to decide what needs to change? But I think the thing that I find most annoying is, as somebody who collects all kinds of fragrances at all different price points, and I'm just trying to build the best collection that I can build at the best price point, I find it a little bit aggravating, some of the looking down that tends to happen on dupe fragrances and, you know, Arabian fragrances, as well as designer fragrances, as being basic and not super evolved, when a lot of these niche fragrances that you're charging like a shit ton of money for aren't doing anything extra either. They just have a name and a label and the niche price tag. And it's more about exclusivity and only some people being able to access those kinds of fragrances because of the price point that make them as attractive as they are for a lot of people. But I do understand that there are those who are looking for something very novel, something very different, looking at you zoologists, fans, the people who love zoology. I get that. and we can have that conversation without, I don't know, trying to downplay some of the beauty and the value that cheaper fragrances, less expensive fragrances can bring to fragrance lovers out there. So I will continue to talk about all the different price points on my channel because that is what I collect. I just want to get good smelling juice regardless of the price. I do not discriminate. Everything, my 2 cents and then some on all the questions that Roxanne put forward. And I hope all of these questions helped you to get to know me just a little bit better. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and keep coming back for more because I'm gonna keep putting shit out. Definitely, eventually, soon. Again, I'm Jeanique, a lover of all things fragrances, and I'm happy you're here to check this video out today, and I hope to see you soon. Bye, y'all.
But you know how it goes.